Hello there and welcome back. In this video we are going to continue our Ansible playlist. So basically in the previous video we have set up ProGet and it was set up on a Windows machine. So if we go and try to take a look at what's here, if we go to the settings we can say that this admin and admin with capital A is present. And what we can do is under users, we could create a new user. And let's say that this is called test and start exclamation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. And test user and test at b.com. And we would like to be the member of the administrator group. Great. Now if we take a look at once again to the users, what we will be able to do is to specify to our Ansible machine. So let me log into the CentOS. So if you remember from the previous video, we have a CentOS, a CentOS and a 2019A machine. And in this video what I'm going to do is to verify if the win ping for the 2019A is working. It should be working, just for clarity's sake. So CentOS for the ping module, it is also working. So now what we can do is to go and work with our ProGet. So how would we like to integrate this to our deployment workflow? So if we go under the containers, we can create a new Docker registry, which is not really what we want to do. But if we want, we can go under the assets and let's call this config. And under the assets, if we go back to the config, we can add new files. And let's say that we would like to upload this via the API itself. Let me just copy this one and go back here and paste it very well. So now if we say that we have a configuration file like app.conf, and we say that this is like my app and the username is equal to whatever and the password is whenever 1, 2, 3. What we can do is to adjust this URL. And what we would like to adjust is the home Ansible. And here what we would like to say that this is app.conf, which we would like to upload. So this is the test user with the start exclamation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put it in double quotes. And the asset name is app.conf. And this is not the localhost, but the 2019A. Great. Now we need to put it into single quotes. So yeah. If everything goes well and now we refresh this directory, we can see the app.configuration file. And here we should be able to see the content itself. Yeah. So my app username, whatever, password, whatever. And basically what we would like to do is to create a playbook. So app.yaml, and we would say that the host is 2019A, and we would like to create a scenario where we would like to deploy this application. So basically, in order to do that, we would like to create under the etc Ansible group wars all.yaml. So here everything is called YAML, and if you say that all.yaml, we create a YAML file which is basically saying that it applies to every host, no matter what the group membership or the specific identity of the host is. So ProGet host is 2019A, and ProGet user is test, and the ProGet password is start exclamation 1 2 3 4 5. And what we can do now is to go back to our app.yaml, and here what we would like to do is to create a playbook which is going to allow us to, let's say, gather facts is no, and we would like to say that become is yes, or rather no, and we would like to say that the tasks and the name is firstly to create script folder, and we say that we would like to create this folder. Let me just cheat a little bit. So basically we would like to create the win file, and this win file is going to take arguments which says path, and this path is going to be C scripts, and we would state that state directory, and the name is going to be app directory, and we say that this is a win file which is going to have the path for C scripts app, and the state is directory. Okay, now if we issue the Ansible playbook app.yaml, what we will see is that there is an error. Oh boy. Ansible group wars all.yaml. Great. So now it should be working. So we would like to create the scripts and the app folder. Alright, if you go back to our Windows machine, we will see under the C that we have the scripts and the app folder. So how do we get this specific file to be deployed to the remote machine? And this is where the trick comes from. So let's go back to our console, and let's say that app.yaml needs some editing. So first what we would like to do is to download from our artifact store the configuration file. So download config file for app, and we say that get URL, and this get URL is going to get the URL which is like HTTP, and we say that this is the ProGet host. Now if we inspect our Etsy Ansible group force all YAML, we have the ProGet host, ProGet user, and ProGet past. So now let's go back to our app.yaml. So ProGet host is what the beginning of the URL is. If we go back to our directory, we can see that this is the rest of the URL that we need. So basically, if we go back and insert this part, it will grab this URL. Now what we need to do is to specify a destination. And this destination is going to be under the temp app.conf. And we need to specify a URL username, which is going to be the ProGet user, and the URL password, which is the ProGet pass. Now if we save it and run once again our playbook, we see an error. But why do we see it? Let's go back and put them into quotes. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. What other we need to do if we don't want to make sure that get URL runs on the remote host is to delegate to localhost. And if we run it once again, you can see that there may be some issues with this part. Yeah. So indentation or indentation is kind of important in Ansible. So now what we would like to do is to download the configuration file for the application. So 8624, and let's just say that advanced firewall or firewall settings, and turn off, okay. So CURL, if you want, you can troubleshoot this part by simply issuing the CURL, and it shows that 2019. Hey, oh, come on. I forgot to specify the port. So this is technically 8624. Now, if you check it with the same port, so 8624, it will give us back whatever the content of that file is. So now, if we run the playbook, it will be able to download the configuration for the application. And under temp, we will see the app.conf. So now what we need to specify is that we would like to move this file to the remote location. So now what we would like to do is to create a conf directory. So name, create app config directory, and this is a win file, and the path is c:\scripts app config, and the state is directory. And if we want, we can copy this app.conf. So now we have it delegated to the localhost. So what we need to do is to name a task which will copy app.conf to the remote host. And it will simply use the win copy command, and we say that our source is going to be temp app.conf, and our destination is going to be app.config.app.conf. And what we need to do is nothing else. So if we run our playbook, oh boy. So now we have the win copy, and this is going to deploy the app.conf. So there may be an issue, looks like an easy fix. So now we have oh yeah. While you started with the code, and you might see the line ended. What? Oh boy. That was not even the error what I was fixing. So, Ansible errors can be tricky sometimes. Yeah, and now it's working. So now we are going to copy the app.conf to the remote host, and just to make sure that we have copied it, you can see that the app.configuration is there, and now we can see the content itself. And one last thing that we need to make sure is that under the app.yaml we remove the source, because there may be cases if you use the temporary folder to store intermediate files, is that you may forget to delete them, and it may be in a location where you don't want that part to be. So remove on app.conf from temp or tmp. So there you would say that file and source temp app.conf and the state absent. And this is basically what we need to do, except we would like to delegate these tasks to the local host. So delegate to localhost. So what happened here in this playbook is that we introduced the ProGet artifact store, and basically our configuration file comes from the store. And in the playbook you saw how you are able to define the all.yaml file that is going to provide you with this configuration item which is available for every host in your every groups, and basically we are referring to it by the app.yaml file via the ProGet host and the ProGet user and the ProGet path. And technically this is what I wanted to show you. So this is how you can integrate ProGet to allow flexible deployment with the help of Ansible. See you in the next